If you don't know, I'm Gina Barber. And I totally forgot to give Amanda my verses today. Sorry. So, yesterday, I've known I've had chapel for a while, so I've been running things through my head, had some, ideas, pretty much knew what I wanted to do. And then Paula got up. And she did what I was going to do, And then I had another thing, tied in there. Richard shared that yesterday. So I was like, man, what am I going to do? And I told Paula, I said, well, I could just get up here and say, you remember what Paula said yesterday? Ditto, I'm done. But she said, well, just do it again. So I'm going to do it again with a different spin. But, we all have times when we just feel kind of dried up. And it's been, last few months have been hard. Lots of things going on. But I want to read, you all know this, but I want to read Ephesians 6, 10 through 12. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. And I have to, you get down, Satan just gets in there and starts willing at you, just hitting you from all sides and stuff. And I continue to try do my devos, and I'm reading, and it's just, there are words on a page sometimes, and I've really been struggling. And I go back and I thought, well, I got to keep plugging along. So instead of just, reading and trying to find something new, I said, let's go back to what I've fallen back to. And I know I've shared some of these verses before, but I go back to where the roots are and back to verses that have helped me in the past. And I have to remind myself, we're fighting against a spiritual darkness. And he's trying to destroy not just me, but all of us. And, it has been, I felt, pretty dried up. I was telling, I think it was Pat the other day, I just said, I don't know what to share. I just feel like I'm all dried up and I'm just going to blow away because I don't have anything left in me, And we just have to, we have to just be aware that there's a lot of circumstances in our life that Satan is just trying to use to defeat us. For me, I've been trying to learn a new job because, I've been in food service here since in the 80s when I started here, and that's what I did. I worked with Bernie side by side, and then when we left and we came back, and I went right back into what I knew. Doing the cooking classes and helping Bernie. I even came back and volunteered for a few years, just getting all the summer food ready and packed and ready to go. And so I just fell right back into that, and then I fell into the receptionist job for the time I wasn't working outside, and then all of a sudden now I'm in finance, and I'm learning. Sometimes it's like I'm up to here, I feel like I'm drowning, but you are making it through. And then you just have, like I said, we have the stress of everything that's been going on here, and trying to get, just everything worked out with third world, and a lot of sleepless nights. Then we have a son that's not walking with the Lord, and that's it's hard. And then I'm sorry. I have a stillness that all of a sudden has become real, because even though I've been going to the doctor every 3 months, and it's been a wait and watch, and this last time it's still the numbers are close to the same, but they became real when he said you can't go into any malaria countries because you may not be able to survive it. And that was a real blow because now it's real and it's affecting my life. And I'm not able to do the things I'm used to doing and want to do. And even though we've been here 5 years, I still miss my kids and my grandkids so much. So, these are some, I feel, sometimes you just feel surrounded, and the enemy is just, just all the way around you, every side, everywhere you look, And then what he does is I feel, but all of us, sometimes you just feel, it separates you and you feel alone, even though you're not, you feel alone. So I just wanted to go back to a few familiar scriptures. Let's go to Psalm 121. Sorry, guys. All right. This has been a real help for me. I shared it with Linda in Ecuador. We were talking, like, how do we get through some of these things, And I said, I lift my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. This is New King James. I get tongue-tied because I learned it in a different version, this one. But one thing I've written a note to the side is it takes an action. I lift my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at night at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. And that's just an encouragement because he's with me day and night. He's with me there to protect me. This, from this time, the day I met him, from that time forevermore. And I can just fall back on that. And it's a reassurance that he's there. He's got my back, even though sometimes I'm not in the right place for him to be able to, communicate things with me. But, and then I wanted to share Psalm 100. Make a joyful shout to the Lord, all you lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who has made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful to him and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endures to all generations. Well, I told you, Paula and I were thinking a lot of the same thing, and it's just been really hard to get into your communication with the Lord. It's been difficult. And then Richard shared, about Marie, and I thought, what have I got to complain about? This woman is losing her baby, her little boy, and he's such a sweet boy. I mean, he had him in Bible school for many years at camp, and he's just a little fella, and I'm telling you, he could outquiz any of our kids. This kid knows Scripture, and this little boy knew the Lord at such a young age. And then I thought, we just lost Summer and what her mom's going through. And I thought, what, I need to take my focus off of me and my circumstances and put them back on the Lord where they belong. And it's like when I read Psalm 100, it says, make a joyful shout to the Lord. And I need to start having more joyful thoughts. We were talking, some of us the other day, and we were just, saying some encouraging things, and how much better you feel just saying encouraging things to one another. I wrote down, all the things, I told you some things I felt like surrounded by, but this morning, last night, I say, I have to take all my eyes off of me. I have my kids. I have my grandkids. I can call them. I can FaceTime with them. We see them a couple times a year, and I get to hold them and hug them and play with them. And I think of poor Marie, who's about to lose her little boy. I think of Summer. Her mom's not going to be able to hold her anymore. So what have I got to complain about? I have a family that we all love one another. We still have our parents. We have so much. We've, with Jacob, I've not given up hope. God spoke to Josh when he left home at 18 to go into the Navy, and I know he was doing things I would not approve of. There were, years later, he finally came back to the Lord, and he said, Mom, it's because of all those, I forget, he knew how many years, I forget, like all those years that you prayed for me, and that's how I got to where I'm at. And he's walking with the Lord again. John, he went to high school, and because we homeschooled up through 8th grade, and the worst thing that ever happened was public school with him, and he developed some habits we didn't approve of, and we were in Haiti, and it was, we did this. We weren't on a team with Team Missions. We had a group there, but we still did evening devotions just like we learned here. We took turns. It was John's turn, and John just broke down. And it was so neat because we had this one guy, he's a big guy, he's been on a lot of missions trips with us, and he said he just got up and he hugged on John, and they prayed with him. And John had a real experience when he was little in Haiti, where the first time we went, the people what can we give you? We have nothing to give you. And they wanted to wash our feet. And John was in tears. And he was just a little fella. And I thought, he had that experience, and he had been living a life he really wasn't proud of, and we were back in Haiti, and God used that, Haiti and those experiences to bring him back. And with Joe, Joe was younger when Lord got hold of his life, and they all had accepted the Lord when they were younger, but they just, hey, we all tend to, not all of us, but a lot of us tend to want to live our life for a little while, and God says, it's time to come back. So, he's brought Joe, Josh, and John back, and he's going to get Jake. And I just keep trusting, I find myself taking it on myself. Why isn't this happening? And what if something happens to him? Daddy, how we think, try to outthink the Lord. But I'm trusting God, trusting Him. If He did it for my other 3 boys, He can do it for my 4th, and He will. As far as learning a new job, I've had good people. Paul has been in there, Anna's been in there, we had Sean. I'm telling you, there's good people that have been helping me and teaching me and trying to help me figure this stuff out. I've had the encouragement of others. As far as everything going on here, you guys have been fantastic. I'm thankful for each one of you. And you've been encouraging, Bob Yost will put encouraging notes in their mailbox sometimes for Richard and I. And we've had people who are just, dear friends, just text us and say, hey, I don't know what's going on right there, but we feel like you need prayer. We're praying for you. So I'm thankful that we have you guys, because you have rallied around us and each other. And there's an excitement here that we're excited about the future and what's God's going to do with us in Teen Missions, and I'm thankful for that. So I need to, let go of that, and I'm thankful for what we have here with each one of you. And like I said, I have my kids, we have friends, we have a lot to be thankful for. And as far as the illness, I continue to trust God. We have all these plans, but I don't know why why things are happening the way they are. But my numbers are they're high, but they're staying steady. So I'm thankful for that. And I was very thankful that I don't have to go in 3 months. I get to go in 4 months for my next checkup. So that was encouraging. So I need to start looking at the positive, not the negative. And I'm just glad that I had, verses that I felt like, okay, I can go back to the familiar and get my strength from the Lord instead of trying to get it from myself or wherever I've been trying to do. But He's there to encourage and to strengthen me. He's with me, and I need to quit trying to do it on my own. I wanted to end with Psalm. A lot of you students may already know this. Psalm 63. I should just make you all stand and recite this one. Psalm 63. God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. So I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory, because your loving kindness is better than life. My lips shall praise you. Thus I will bless you while I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you on my bed, I meditate on you in the night watches, because you have been my help. Therefore, in the shadow of your wings, I will rejoice. My soul follows close behind you. Your right hand holds me up. But those who seek my life to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth. They shall fall by the sword. They shall be a portion of jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. Everyone who swears by him shall glory. But the mouth of those who speak lies shall be stopped. Thank you.
She didn't tell you, but she's thankful for a great husband, too. Some days more than others. Okay. Oh, thank you, baby. All right. Now I lost my train of thought.